let's say you're trying to lose weight right now, and you understand that you have to do cardio, but really you don't like running, you don't like cycling, you don't like these type of cardio. What if I told you that there was something that was actually going to burn more, just as much, if not more calories than running or cycling? And it can actually do it in less time and it's not high intensity whatsoever. This is actually jump roping. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sam, and on this channel I talk anything about philosophy. If this interests you in any sort of way, then feel free to subscribe to join our movement. Probably about 5, 6 months ago, or about September, is whenever I actually started jump roping. And I had a jump rope for a while. I was just too lazy to actually sit down and actually try to learn it because it was almost like trying to relearn something. Whenever you were younger, it was so easy to jump rope. Like you felt like it was so easy to jump rope. But now that you're older, it's so difficult to jump rope now. And I actually just sat down and I just learned to jump rope. I spent day in, day out, just like for 30 minutes, trying to jump rope. Then eventually I actually got pretty good at it. So what exactly is jump roping? I'm obviously, like I said, you probably already know what jump roping is, literally having a rope and then jumping with it. But why is jump roping actually better than, say, running or cycling? So first of all, let's talk about how many calories each of these burns. So roughly running for about, let's say 10 minutes. Running for 10 minutes of just like at a steady pace, like let's say 5, 6 miles, is going to burn roughly anywhere from like 70 to 90, maybe 100, depending on how fast you go. Obviously, you know that sometimes with running, like really it's uncomfortable and you don't want to run really far distances and maybe you're sore. But with the jump roping, you're going to be burning for every 100 jumps or every minute of jump roping, you're burning anywhere from 10 to 15 calories. So think about that. 10 minutes of jump roping is going to burn 100 to 150 calories, bro. That is a lot of calories in just 10 minutes. So let's imagine you eat a big meal and then all of a sudden you go jump rope for a few minutes. That would be powerful if you're trying to lose weight, don't you think? So the same thing goes when it comes to cycling. While cycling does burn a lot of calories, let's be honest, a lot of the times with going uphill and downhill, you might not want to do these things. So jump roping is actually going to be easy. It's going to be accessible because really you just need a little bit of room to actually just jump rope. You don't need to you don't need to have this massive layout of where to go because maybe some of you guys you want to run, but it's difficult to run in the place that you're living in, or the environment makes it difficult to do this. Doing jump roping is actually going to be so beneficial for you because you can do it in a very small space. You don't need to you don't need to have this, like I said, this charted path to be able to actually go out there and jump rope. So another wonderful thing about jump roping is actually the full body workout that you're actually getting. So when you're jump roping, you're not just working out your legs, but if you're actually doing jump roping correctly, you'll start to notice that you're moving your wrists some. And you actually be working out your arms as well. Your arms, your shoulders, your abs, your entire body is being worked out when you're actually jumping rope. This is just absolutely amazing if you're trying to shred up and trying to get a little leaner. Now, it's not going to be amazing for building muscle. I will say it will build some muscle, but if you actually want to build more muscle while jump roping, I would switch to actually a weighted jump rope. That's what I'm actually using right now because I've noticed that there's definitely been an increase in the size of my shoulders when I actually started doing weighted jump ropes and the size of my calves. Like, dude, I I have a calf vein. I mean, that's crazy to say. I have a calf vein from jump roping, which I got a calf vein before I got a shoulder vein, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just so weird because jump roping, you really think, oh, it's just like cardio, it's not going to build any muscle. But once you actually learn like the basic fundamentals of it, you start to notice that it actually can be amazing for building muscle. Now, I won't say that it's going to be like your end all be all, like this is the only thing you have to do to build muscle. It's not. But I'm saying like adding it on top of other things is going to be the thing that's going to actually make it shine. So this is also something I noticed a lot. So I'm somebody who stretches and I do a lot of weightlifting. I do a lot of all sorts of different trainings. What I noticed is that whenever I started jump roping, I started to feel a little more loose. So I mean, this is kind of obvious since like you're jumping up and down, but I started like because I noticed that I had a lot of tightness like in my lower back and a lot of tightness like in my hamstrings and my lower body in general. And what I found is that whenever I actually started jump roping more, I actually started to feel like a little more loose, a little more like get up and go. Like I felt a little lighter on my feet. Now this is something now I'm trying to get into boxing. This is something that has been so crucial to actually being able to like throw punches out. So this is wonderful if you're trying to actually get some tension out of your body. A lot of the times, like just jumping up and down, like with the jump rope, is all you really need to actually release some of that tension that you have in your body. And this also goes into another point of this is that if you're actually training for really any sort of athletics, whether it be football, boxing, martial arts, like baseball, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, you'll find that doing jumping rope will help out literally almost everything that you're doing. It's amazing for agility, it's amazing for explosiveness, for actually like being light on your feet, like I mentioned before. So jump roping is so good for really anything athletics based. Is that if you guys are actually struggling with maybe you're trying to like recuperate, maybe you got into an injury or you have like really poor health, and so you can't just go outside and go on a run because it's hard on your joints. I will tell you that jump roping is an amazing alternative for building like muscle and actually burning fat, because a lot of the times whenever like with jumping rope, like really you're not, it's not really high impact. It's going to be really low impact. You're just jumping up and down at a really slow pace, and then eventually you can work up to be higher. And what's funny enough is that, I mean, maybe you guys understand this, is that actually jumping, the action of jumping up and down and your body like hitting the ground is actually going to help you build stronger bones. So it's actually going to help with your bone density. So if you're somebody who is struggling with trying to get back into into working out, then this is going to be a great way of actually getting you back into where you used to be at. And the final point that I have to make to you guys is simply that jump roping is so goddamn fun. Like it is so fun to jump rope. I cannot lie to you guys. Like, let me tell you, like, okay, obviously weightlifting and running, like I love all sorts of training, obviously. But with the jump roping, it's just like at first it's a really big struggle to like get over that first hurdle of actually being able to jump at the right height, to actually be able to know how to flick your wrist while you're doing it and actually do it at a steady pace. It's hard, it's difficult. But what I will tell you guys is that actually whenever you actually get to the past this hurdle, and I really encourage you guys to stick with it, then you'll start to notice that it's just so fun because all of a sudden you learn tricks to do, and like you can't, it's really hard to get bored of it. Like whenever I first started, whenever I actually got to a steady pace where I could just jump rope for a few minutes at a time, this is whenever I actually I actually started doing stuff like double unders. I started like flicking the ribs. I started flipping inside and outside. Like there's so many different variations to actually do with when it comes to jumping rope. There's so many different things you can actually find to do. So you're never really going to get bored with it. And like I said, you could do this at any point. Like you have like 10 minutes to spare, go out and just do some jump rope. So easy and accessible. It does not require much space. So you watched the whole video talking about like the benefits of jump rope, why you should do it and all. So how do you actually start doing it? So first of all, I'd recommend getting a jump rope. Obviously, get a jump rope, get a 9 foot jump rope. If you're taller, then get a longer jump rope. But generally, a 9 foot jump rope is going to suffice. And what you want to do is actually just learn how to jump rope. If you don't, just like you're gonna want to you get the wrist movement down first. Get the wrist movement down, because what you'll notice is you're not trying to do this, swing your arms like this. You want to try to learn how to flick your wrists with it. This is going to take time, and I'll actually probably put a video out showing you guys how I jump rope. But if you're learning how to jump rope, I'd recommend try to get to 1 minute of actually jump roping, of just pure jump roping, and then eventually work it up. And then I wouldn't sit down and do like 30 minutes of jump rope all at once. I'd break it down into like maybe 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, like that kind of stuff. Break it down so it's not too complex for you boys.